All right, we're here for another episode of Sports Talk
Yeah,
Unfiltered, where we talking some
yeah.
good sports here, man. We still waiting. Seems like on one of our guys that come in, man. So we gonna get
We ain't
into
gonna
it.
miss.
We ain't gonna miss.
You might have to ask them anyway. We ain't gonna miss.
Ah.
We're gonna miss them
I
X's though.
miss them
How much them?
Sometimes,
Yeah,
X's.
we're gonna miss the X. Yeah,
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man.
sometimes you
Oh
need
man.
somebody to bomb to make your words sound a whole lot better.
Exactly.
Make it sound better. Oh, that's
Yeah,
funny,
man.
man. All right, well, look, man, we know we just got a lot to talk about when we just came through on the Super Bowl. So you know we've got to discuss a little bit of what happened with that on the Super Bowl.
Hmm.
So man, the first of all, what were your thoughts, man? What were the keys to the Chiefs' victory? What did it do? What happened? What happened with this Super Bowl? What was your thought, and what would you think the keys were to why they won?
So I
Well,
told
me
y'all
and
last
Tony, we
week.
was going, but
Yeah,
hold up.
go
What
ahead,
you tell me
Howard.
last week?
No, go ahead,
We was
Howard.
discussing on. We were texting back and forth that Patrick Mahomes fooled us, man. First
He
of
he
all,
tricked us, bro. He
he
tricked
he
us.
he, he tricked us, man. He did a Bob Lanier on us, man. I'm just well. Go ahead, Tony. Then I finish my statement.
No, I was saying I told y'all last week. I kept telling Elliot. I picked the Chiefs, but I have faith in the Eagles if they can keep the score under 30 points. I felt like a game under 30 points would mean that there was a lot of running, was a lot of time off the clock. Their defense played good enough. They sacked, they forced Kansas City to punt. They did all those. I was telling Elliot the whole time, bruh, if they get to 30 points, that's the cutoff. 30, I think the Chiefs got them. And it's because in a shootout, that's not what the Eagles just been dominating people, but they ain't been used to people going back and forth with them and going back and forth or whatever. And I just felt like the experience, and I think it came down to that. The experience. I think it really came down to the one call where, they had 3rd and 2 in the fourth quarter and they had a chance, to put the game away, and they did a pass instead of just running the ball like they normally do. They didn't get it. He
Hmm.
threw it away. They actually punted for the first time,
Hmm.
or the second time in the game, but for the first time in a key
Hmm.
situation. And they punted, and then the
Hmm.
punt return went back down to the 5. And I felt like that was the ball game because I felt like no matter what, the Eagles did, which they went down and scored and tied the game with a 2-point conversion. But I felt like anything they did was going to leave too much time for Pat to come back and win. So, I mean, it was a good game. I think it was probably the best Super Bowl that I've watched start to finish. And the reason why I like it is because it wasn't a bunch of people making bad plays. It was just a bunch of people making great plays the entire game. So that makes for a great game. And I think it was a very, very entertaining game. And I honestly think the better team won.
Howard.
Yeah, man. Tony hit it. He hit it right on the spot, man. That to me, the turnaround of the game was a fumble. When Jalen fumbled the ball and they ran it in for a touchdown. If they don't fumble that ball, they actually go down, and I'm thinking they're gonna score another touchdown. That's the way it was looking because they dominated the whole first half. If you really think about it,
Yeah, but
and
that was third
and
down, Howard. They was gonna punt after that, even if he'd have just got tackled.
I mean I get that too, but he still fumbled. But like you said,
Yeah.
he fumbled the ball. That was big. That was huge right there. But you got to take your hats off to Kansas City, Pat Mahomes. Man, this dude, they didn't even punt the ball the second half, bruh. No punts in the second half. First half, Philly did what they were supposed to do. Philly kept them off. How many minutes was it that they had the ball, Tony?
I
Probably
mean,
almost
at
20,
one time,
24, 25 minutes.
yeah, yeah. At one time they had them. It was like 20 something to 5. I'm like, yo, what in the world is
Five.
going on? Like they had
Yeah,
no time of possession, bro. And I'm like, they were, and
none.
that's how I felt like they were supposed to dominate the game. But when they started
Right.
going back, picking the tempo up, then they started playing the Chiefs type of game. Once you playing the Chiefs type of game, now you not only because nobody can say that Jalen Hurts took a back seat to Patrick Mahomes because Jalen
No
Hurts
sir. No
balled
sir.
out. He
No.
played, but as
Yes.
far as how the teams are constructed so that that guy who's been doing this for so many years, he's been playing in this. Remember, he's done come back. The last Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl he won, they came back from 10 down in the fourth quarter against the 49ers. This is what they do. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so you got to take the ball and keep the ball the whole game. And it just didn't happen in the second half. So kudos to both teams,
Yeah.
though.
All
No
right.
doubt.
Well, I mean, I kind of agree. I think really, like Tony said, man, Philly really their defense wasn't really what it was all cracked up to be. We see now Dallas scoring them. We see now Dallas put some points up on the board on them. The other team put some points on the board. Man, they
See,
got
I
anything
can't
they
let you
want
do
to
that,
give.
man.
Why?
I
Why?
can't
Why?
let you
Why?
do that.
Explain.
No,
Go ahead. Go
so
ahead.
here's the thing. Their defense was exactly what they were all year. But what happened was the Chiefs, they knew what the defense was. So they were chipping the outside guys, they were doubling the guys in the middle, and Patrick Mahomes was getting the ball out quick. And whenever they ran man, Patrick Mahomes would just take the 4-5 yards, you know what I'm saying, running the ball, you know what I mean, to get away. The reason why they led the league in sacks is because they were always up on teams, and so teams had to pass to come back on them. And when you dropping back and pass with these pass rushes, then you know what I mean, then they can pin their ears back and go back and get sacks, and nobody can stop them. But the Chiefs did a good job of running the ball, mixing the running. Man, I'm telling you, man, them play calls for those touchdowns, man, that was all coaching, man. Like it was. They called them
Pure
things
coach.
and they set them. They
Whew.
set them up. They was like, we know what they do,
My
so we're gonna
God.
put them in a
Wow.
situation
Yeah,
to make mistakes.
I can't let you. I can't. Well, but my
Now,
point is, but that's what we're saying today. That ain't what people were saying before the game. They talked like
yeah,
Philly
because we
had
didn't
like
to
like the
run the
number two
ball.
defense, like the number 2 or 3 defense in the
No,
league.
no, no. I already told you the best defense that was in the playoffs was the 49ers, and they just so happened to not have a quarterback. So it was, I mean, it just is what it is. If they had a quarterback, we might not even be talking about the Eagles. We might have been talking about the 49ers and the Chiefs again. So what I'm saying is they took what the Eagles did the best, and then they confused them and took them out and exploited the weaknesses of the team. We said all year that they couldn't stop the run. Everybody's been saying that. So they ran the ball on them. They outrushed the Eagles. Who in the world would have thought that the Chiefs would have outrushed the Eagles?
Right.
But listen, everybody, we giving Pat Mahomes a lot of credit, but man, listen, that offensive line played their best game of the year when it really, really counted, baby. Them jokers
That's right.
played their man. They played they jack off, man.
I
Them
mean,
boys
they
played they
did.
jacks off,
They
man.
did, but you still got to give Mahomes a lot of credit.
Oh no, nobody's taking it
If
away from
I'm
Mahomes.
not
It's
saying I'm
just
not
that
taking it away from them,
It sounded like
but
you
the
just
way the
did.
Eagles was no man.
he didn't
No,
do it by
they
himself, is
get
what
the
we saying.
offensive line.
Okay, all right.
That's what I'm talking
So
about.
so the difference is, here's the difference. This was the same defense that they played in that Tampa Bay Super Bowl. The problem was they had no offensive linemen in that Tampa Bay Super Bowl, and Mahomes was running for his life. This time, the offensive line held
Right.
up so Mahomes could be
They held
Mahomes.
up.
And
They
and
held up.
and let's not act like Mahomes, but he had under 200 yards passing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't come out there and throw, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
all
but a
these
Mm-mm.
lot of them
astronomical
passing
yards.
yards he got was in the second half.
Oh, they were almost all in the
Yeah.
second half because
They
they ain't
was
had the ball
almost
the first
all
half.
in it. They was almost all in the
Yeah,
second
but
half.
he wasn't on the
They-
field, Bishop. He wasn't
right,
on
the
the
first
field.
drive. Look, he
What you
had the
talking about?
first
When?
drive.
When?
No,
He
Mahomes
went
went on the field the first
in the
half.
first
So
Oh,
half.
you
He
talking about
wasn't
the
on the
first half?
field, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
You
what? I
take
Think
mean,
away
about
did
it.
he? I mean, but did he? How many possessions did he have? Did he not have the possession? What do you mean by he won't on the field?
He had 2 possessions the first what, two,
No,
three?
he
Was
had
it three or
three. He
two?
had
Yeah, I
three.
mean, well, how
He
many
had
did
Three
three.
Philly
possessions in
have?
the first half.
No,
Eh,
Philly had they had four because they got the ball first and they ended
Right.
up
I
with it
mean,
at
they
the
had
end.
one more
So
possession.
no. What I'm saying
no,
is
no,
they had one
with
punt and one
time,
missed field
Bishop.
goal. I'm
I
talking about
understand, but my point is, after somebody score, the other team do take the field, right?
They missed the field goal.
Right, right.
They ran the ball
What?
all the way down, and they missed the field goal. And then the one drive they punted. And so, I mean, it is what it is. You dominate. Here's the thing: you keep them off the field. You keep going for it on
You
fourth
keep
That's the
them
way
down,
off
you
the
fourth
play.
and
field.
That's
two
the way you
to
play.
keep them off the field. Yeah,
Yeah, that's the way you play. That's the way you play.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So those were the keys. Listen, on that holding call, I had a video, but we all seen the video. Look, man, was that a good call?
Yes.
it was the right call.
It sound like there's some.
It was the right call. And look, hold on. We were screaming. Howard was texting me. I was on with Elliot. We were screaming on that one drive in the first half that Chiefs had to punt
That they
because,
right.
dude, he held him and then he interfered with him and they didn't call it. Dude,
Didn't
they
call
had
it.
to.
Right.
There is no way because Mahomes. That wasn't the play. Mahomes threw that ball. Everybody said that ball wasn't catchable. If you understand what really happened, Mahomes just threw the ball so he could try to get the flag. It was supposed
Right.
to be an out play so that they can get it, but he wouldn't let him get out because he held him on the first read and then he held him. He grabbed the jersey. Anytime the jersey extend, man, they are going to call that every time.
You talking about the last
Simple as
play?
that.
The last play, yes.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm.
All right. So y'all both. It's really not a big thing to that call for you guys.
No, it's bad. He shouldn't have done it. He should have just let him score. Because if he'd have let him score,
They might
then
have got a
they would have
chance.
They
gave
would have got the
Jalen
ball
Hurts the
back.
ball back.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't really think you can complain. Anybody who complained about that really
They're just a fan.
sour grapes. Yeah, they just a fan and it's sour grapes because that's really not what's going on.
Well,
Question.
he even said himself. He even said himself he did.
Yeah,
So,
he said
Yeah.
so
he said.
everybody
I
can
mean
shut
Hey,
that
up.
was
yo,
pretty.
hey, did y'all see the tweet that Juju Smith-Schuster put out?
Listen, I heard the
Uh,
uproar today. What did Juju
Nah, man.
say? And then somebody
So,
talked about
so,
Juju.
so Juju Smith-Schuster, who act like he the Juju of old, he
oh Lord,
put
here he
a
go. Yeah,
tweet
he the
out
tweeter.
that was a Valentine's Day card and it had a picture of Bradbury on it and it said something to the effect of I always hold you under the right circumstances or something like that. I want to make sure I hold you on the and you know what I mean? And it was like
Wow.
it was and
Yeah,
then
that's
so what was crazy is
Wow.
AJ Brown retweeted back at him and was like, "Hey, yo, man, first of all, you was on your way to being unemployed, and Patrick Mahomes resurrected your career. Don't act like you that dude, man. Just gracious. First of all, congratulations, but dude, chill out. Act like you've been there before. Oh, I forgot you ain't never
Exactly.
been there before. You know
He
what I'm
ain't never
saying?
been there.
So
That's right.
yeah, Juju. Yeah, I mean,
it was bad,
he
man.
ain't got to. He could have. He had to run the guy in. The guy already said he
Nope.
held. That was
He did.
unnecessary. Yeah, that was
That was man.
unnecessary.
As a matter of fact, though, that's the one thing I would say about the Eagles as well. When you talk to them, everybody that has been interviewed has been so stand up. Like they own. It's like, look, we played a good game. We made a couple of mistakes. We made a few mistakes. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. But that team went out there and they won the game. They were a better team today. Blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Everybody said all the right stuff. Nobody complained about the refs. None of that. Philly deserves, you
Nope.
know what I'm saying, some credit and accolades for being stand up because they did what they were supposed to do. They went out there, they played hard. It just so happened. I said last week, whoever had a ball last gonna win, and the Chiefs kept the ball. So kudos.
All right, look, is KC a dynasty right now? Are
Yes.
they a dynasty? They've been to 3
I say
Super
yeah.
Bowls, and
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
this is 5th year in the league.
Yes. No.
I
See,
say
we
yes.
say that
Fourth year.
fifth
Fourth
year.
year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He been in the
Yeah.
league 5 years, but it was
Yes.
Yeah.
Alex Smith team the first
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
been playing for 4
So
years and he been to the
been
Super
in the Super
Bowl.
Bowl 3 out of the 4 years he's been playing. Do you guys
I say yes.
consider KC a dynasty right now?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so. And part of the reason why I say I think so is because I don't see any reason why they won't be there again next year. Like, this is the youngest team to ever make it to the Super Bowl. They played the most minutes by rookies of any team that has ever made it to the Super Bowl by a lot. they're only going to get better. Nobody on their team that is somebody of, substantial consequence is coming up as a free agent where they got to worry about getting under the cap and they got to worry about keeping Jones or keeping Clyde. They ain't got to worry about none of that. Everybody's good to go. They got all their draft picks. They can let Juju Smith-Schuster go and not have to worry about it. They can even let Mecole Hardman go if they need to because they got Kadarius Toney. You know what I'm saying? They got Skylar Moore. They got players. They draft people. They draft some receivers. They got a running back. They can let Edwards-Helaire go. They can because they don't need to be paying nobody big when they got these young guys coming in there to do it, man. I was so impressed with what they were able to do. And then they lost their best receiver, maybe arguably at least a top 3 receiver in the league, and they let him go. And he had his best year. And he had the best year.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
No reason to think.
We all agree that they're a dynasty right now as they sit.
Yes.
One thing though, they do got to re-sign Orlando Brown though. He's the one free agent coming up, and if he asks for like dumb, stupid money, then it could present a problem. Excuse me, it could present a problem later.
All right, look, where does Andy Reid rank as a coach? Top what?
Top, man, that's a lot of good, man. That's good gracious, man.
So if I would start going coaches that automatically come to mind as being considered the greatest coaches, of course you got to start with Belichick. Then you got like Kyle Parcells, you got Walsh, you got Shula. After those
Jimmy
names,
Johnson.
Who's the guy?
Jimmy Johnson.
But Jimmy Johnson only coached for like 4 years though.
I mean,
for the
3
Cowboys.
Super Bowls.
Yeah,
it should have 3 Super Bowls.
Count. You got Tom Landry.
It does
come
count.
on, man.
It does count. I know.
Tom
but
Landry.
what I'm saying is Jimmy Johnson don't compare to all those other guys that I said because all those other guys did it for so long and they did it. You know what I'm saying? It's some longevity. You can get in there. But I mean, I'm still saying you put him in there though.
You got to put Jimmy in there.
No, I mean, I'm saying you put him in there, but
he coached were phenomenal years though. I mean, that's listen. That's almost like us. Let me ask you a well. Matter of fact, we're gonna come back to this. Let's answer this one.
Okay.
Is Mahomes the best QB of all time right now?
I say he's the most talented, but he hasn't been doing it long enough to be the best.
What do you place him at? Top what right now? All time?
I think maybe like
he's number one right now.
I think right behind
just playing now. I'm talking about.
He talking about playing.
I'm not talking.
Oh, you saying not playing?
All time.
I'm talking about all time.
Okay. All time. Oh shoot, he got some years ago, man.
Yeah,
I put him.
Where do you rank him at right now?
I'm thinking maybe 7 or 8 because I got
7 or 8.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, he got some years ago, man.
No sir.
No, hold on.
No sir.
Listen to what I'm. Hold on, wait.
You know what? Name them. It might be 7 or 8. Name them.
So we in no particular order. We got Elway. We got Brady. We got I'm trying to think because Peyton Manning. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna say they got the same number of Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? So if all you're doing is going by, you know what I'm saying, and Peyton Manning did it longer. No, Peyton Manning has more playoff wins. Or he has all. Listen.
No, man. All right, let me ask you guys. Aaron Rodgers?
See, I still think Aaron Rodgers is the most squandered talent ever because I think he has been before Mahomes. I think he was actually the most talented quarterback to ever play the game.
But we ain't talking about we ain't talking about talented. That's not what I
right.
mean.
No, so if you're talking about careers, then there's so many numbers. Like I can't put everything on Super Bowl rings because it's a team sport, man.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like Elway lost 3 Super Bowls because he put up numbers and his defense couldn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you can't really just go by that. It's teams win or whatever. So, it's not a disrespect on Patrick because I think he's the most talented quarterback to ever do it. And I think at the end of the day, he is going to be number one and Brady's going to be looking up at him. because I don't
Well,
put past
how
him.
can you even put him at 7 then? Under those,
No,
under
no, 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 no,
those.
no. Because he just started.
No, I'm saying
Just
he should be. No, he shouldn't even be 7 then.
no, because
He should be
if you
like
go back
15
and
or 20. If
nah, because
you,
if you go back and look at in history, it really hasn't been that many quarterbacks to do things to enter this discussion to where they are the best player in the league ever. You know what I'm saying? They're not top 3 quarterbacks in the league ever. So yeah, so let's take your boy Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger was incredibly successful, but nobody would put him in a discussion with these greats, even though he does have 2 Super Bowls, because no one feels like at any point he was the top 3 quarterback in the league. You know what I'm saying? At any point in his career. So it's not like he
so
was
who do you
ever.
give? Who do you give right now? Quarterbacks above him.
So, like I said, Elway's still above him. Manning's still
Elway,
above him temporarily.
Manning,
Brady's, of course, above him.
Brady,
Um, the
Marino is
Aaron
above him.
Rodgers thing,
Marino.
Marino, I think. Marino,
Marino's
Aaron
above him.
Rodgers. Yeah, but after that, the list start
Um,
getting short. Maybe see Montana. I'm gonna stop disrespecting Montana. Montana.
Yeah, he
I
should have
still
named him
think.
first.
I still think that Steve Young don't get the props that he deserves as far as all-time greats.
So Steve Young,
But
if you going by your qualifications, Steve Young.
I'm
You
running
don't
out of
put Doug
people.
Williams in front of him?
No, Doug Williams ain't do it longer than him. Doug Williams did it for maybe like 6 years, and he had one great year.
Okay, all right, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
All right.
it's like
And we can't
when
name
you look,
people like Plunkett and all of that because they were just
right,
out
right,
of our wheelhouse.
right. I mean,
Right,
everybody
right.
Otto Graham. You know what I'm saying? Of
Joe
course, Otto. You
Theismann,
know,
though, we know a little bit about Joe.
I wouldn't
but
put.
was
I put
Joe
Mahomes over Joe.
was Joe ever
Stop that,
considered the
Bishop.
best quarterback in a season? You know what I'm saying? Was he ever considered among the top
You
quarterbacks
wouldn't
in the
put
season?
the guy that played for St. Louis, the greatest show turf on turf.
Kurt Warner didn't do it that long either. And let's not forget, let's not forget, Kurt Warner, he did what he did. But when you want to talk about, having a nice system and all of that good stuff, Kurt Warner, they
I
were the
mean, if
greatest show.
you talking about the length of time, we got to just go if you've played 4 or 5 years because that's what Mahomes has played. So you
Right, but
can't
I'm
go
saying,
career.
right. So there were times where Warner was considered probably the top quarterback in the league. So I'm
Yeah.
saying he's in the discussion along with Mahomes. I just think even when you put what they've done and put how they did it, I still think
Mahomes
Mahomes
better.
does more than Kurt Warner was able to do.
Oh, I agree. I think Mahomes
Right.
is higher than 7, but I understand what you're saying. All right, so now what is there's Andy Ray?
He's one of the. He's. I
Top
don't know,
5?
man.
And man, so here's the thing.
It's a lot of great
That's
coaches.
tough.
Here's the thing. And
That's what
you
I'm
know what? I'm
saying.
gonna put somebody on the list that people might think I'm crazy because they want to look at his Super Bowl rings and it's only one. But I think Mike Tomlin is an all-time great. The dude has never
No,
had a losing season.
Yeah.
it
Never
ain't
had a
think he
losing
is.
season, man. You know what I'm
He
saying? So
is.
he's one of
He is.
but don't get me wrong. I believe Andy Reid is right up there with them. I could see making the argument for him being a top 5 coach of all time.
Right. All right, we'll get on that. We'll agree on that then. All right, let me see. Look, this is a question
Possibly.
I was thinking.
It's a lot of coaches.
What quarterback would you not trade right now for Jalen Hurts? Because I think this Super Bowl, Mahomes and Hurts stock went up because of this Super Bowl. What do you think?
Oh, most definitely.
So
Well,
when you
Mahomes
say
Who would you not trade?
Mahomes is already set.
Yeah, I mean, but
Mahomes
I
was
think
set.
Mahomes went up even more. But I think Hurts made such a great showing. What quarterback in the league right now would you not trade for Jalen Hurts? I'm really just want to hear one name, but I want you guys.
Oh, you.
So
Never mind, man. No. Hey, Tony, don't say no more.
Hey
Don't say
man, I'm
no
just
more.
saying.
Cause you know where he going with this, Tony.
No, I'm just
You
asking.
know where he going with
What?
this, Tony.
Who would you
So we
not
not.
trade
I'm not
for?
even.
I'm
I'm not.
asking that. Listen,
I'm not. I'm
this
not
ain't
gonna
no
answer this
personal
question,
team.
man.
This ain't no personal teams. We talking about
No,
just
you
within the
going
league.
there. You go.
All the
Be quiet, Bishop.
quarterbacks
You
in
going
the
there?
league. I'm just
Yes, you
trying.
are. No,
For
yes, you are.
example, let me start.
Yes, you.
For example,
Yes.
let me start. Let
Okay,
me
okay,
start.
okay. You start.
Let
We
me
only
start.
want you to start.
All right, man.
No, no, don't you start either.
Hey,
Don't
look,
don't you.
like there ain't but listen. By what I see just now, it ain't but a couple quarterbacks that I wouldn't trade if it was my team for Jalen Hurts. Ain't but a couple.
I would say 3.
Who you got? You
And
got
and
Burrow. Would
so,
you?
but here's the thing: you have to take into consideration if we're
The
saying
team.
the
You got to take
team's
it to the
trading
team
for
what
him,
they
right?
got.
And what and how they'll play him. I think it's Burrow and Mahomes definitely.
What about the guy from Buffalo?
I would trade him for Allen. He
Ooh.
so one of the things that people didn't pay attention to,
Yeah.
those throws that he made were throws that only 2 or 3 quarterbacks are going to make with those kind of accuracy. That dude did not throw a bad ball the whole game. He never threw a bad ball the entire game. He's hitting guys. One ball that I would consider was a bad ball. It was just to give his guy a chance because he feel like his
It's that
receiver
double
was better
coverage.
than the guy. Yeah, but you
Almost
see,
the
he
same.
threw one in double coverage and it was a touchdown because his
Right.
guy is better than the other guys.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to do
No, but
that to
they
avoid a
Tony,
sack.
but the placement of it as well. The
Yeah.
adjustment of the
He threw
receiver
that
and the
J.
Exactly.
placement of it as
But yeah,
well.
he placed that J where
Exactly.
really it was
When
gonna
nobody
only
could
be the
get it, but
receiver. Yeah.
Right.
his
So
It was
receiver,
still
yeah.
double coverage though, and
And
he
he
still threw it up there though.
and he fooled the defenders at the same time.
my guy's better
Because
than
they thought it
yours.
was short.
Yep, my guy's better
I
than
said,
yours.
whoa.
And so
I said,
every
whoa.
quarterback has done that. Every quarterback has done that. My guy's better than yours.
True
So
fact.
I'm gonna throw it in there. And the reason why I say not Burrow is because that team is made for Burrow. But if you were to tell me you sitting them down, do I think that Hurts could win with Cincinnati? Absolutely. Because I think those guys are just. But I would trade him for Lamar. I would trade him for Allen. I would trade if I was those teams. You know what I'm
Deshaun.
saying? Oh, absolutely. To me, he's a better version of Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
So I don't think there's
So
any. I would
really,
have traded
it's Mahomes
and Burrow
and Burrow for you.
and man, I said
What's
it.
funny? How?
No, but I'm saying I said it from the beginning of this
Man, be
season. I'm
quiet,
like,
man.
man, if
Leave
Well,
me
you get
alone,
this
man.
dude, can you imagine what Jalen Hurts could do with mixing in the backfield with Chase and Higgins on the outside? Come on, man, this dude, and you got Boyd. Man, this dude would be all world.
that's it though.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones I would trade
All right. What
if I
about you,
was
Howard?
an organization.
All right. What about you, Howard?
I agree
Is
with
you
Tony,
froze?
man.
You froze? Is he froze?
I I agree with Tony, man.
Look, yeah. Look. This is what I don't understand. Now that Howard's being funny, this is what I
I
don't
agree with
understand.
Tony,
This
man.
is what I don't understand.
Go ahead, man.
Hey,
Go
look,
ahead, Bishop.
hey,
Stop playing, man.
look, Tony. You are a
What,
Denver
man?
fan. Tony, you are a Denver fan, right?
Listen, man, I would get him
Listen,
2 Russell Wilson.
listen. I'm a Steelers fan, right? Right.
Mhm.
Listen, man, I'll trade my
Yeah.
quarterback for him. I don't have no problem saying that. Tony, you're a
Exactly,
Denver fan. Would you trade
bruh.
Russell Wilson for him?
Bruh, I would trade Peyton Manning last 2 years for him. So
Right.
let's just look, bruh. It ain't no hard feelings. It's business.
It's business, right? So I'm just saying how I'm just asking you a question, man. You got to participate in the conversation, man. You can't
Look,
boycott, man. Look, man, I'm asking you, man.
hey,
Who
look,
would you
I'm not
not
gonna
trade?
boycott. Look, I don't. Look, man, I don't know. I don't know, man.
You don't know who you wouldn't.
I
We said we gave you
I
two.
plead the fifth,
Did
man.
you just agree,
No,
or do
no.
you want to add
Let's
some names?
let's
I
just
agree.
ask
I agree,
outright.
man. I agree.
Would you trade
You
Dak
agree
for
with?
I
Jalen
agree.
Hurts right now?
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Since
how
y'all
we
made me
okay.
say it, I didn't want to say it. And then this year though, but see,
What year? What
my
year?
my
What you
thing
mean this
is,
year?
my
What
thing
year
is
would you not trade him for?
this season. Look, I want to see. My thing is, I want to see if he's going to do this again next season. I want to see if he's really going to do this again next season. The next season is going to be a big season for him, regardless. But I
It's
want to
gonna
see
be a
if he
big season
repeats what
for the
he. I
Eagles though.
love.
Right. They
They
lost
got
Yeah,
a
both
lot of
coordinators.
it's going
decisions.
to be a big
They got a
season.
lot of decisions to
They
make.
lost both
Yeah,
coordinators, bro,
yeah,
and their entire defensive line is up for a contract extension.
Yeah,
As
they
a
got.
matter of fact, the Eagles have the
yeah.
fewest
So
players under contract for next year than any other team in the league.
Yeah, and they need to go ahead and sign Jalen now.
They need to sign. As a matter of fact, they should have signed him at halftime of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they need to sign him, man,
they
because
should
if
have,
it's because whatever
because
he
he
make,
deserved it. He
it's
deserved it.
gonna see, it's gonna be more next year if they don't
They should
sign
have
him.
just went. You
He
know what the
deserved it,
problem
man.
these teams be saying? He was just a second round pick.
Yeah, they
So
gotta let
which
that go.
actually ended up hurting him because he went in the second round. That means he came up for extension eligibility a year earlier than
Yeah,
them ones that they got in the first round because you get 5 years if you're a first round quarterback.
right.
They ain't got him moving for 4. Yo, man, they
They
got
need
one
to
more
sign
year.
him that second year, and then a lot of quarterbacks ain't them top five quarterbacks that be real good. It be them second round guys. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
don't be them
Right.
number
Yeah.
one pick guys that be real good. But see, a lot that contract that scare a lot of people though. That scare a lot of them second round, fifth rounders. It make you scared to give that quarterback that, and then he turned out to be a bust.
Yeah. That
Well, he sure was a bust this year.
He was a
I
baby man,
I
no,
can
not a
definitely
bust,
no,
admit to
man,
that.
that
But
not a
got
bust,
that
man.
that got
Oh,
hurt.
I
I'm gonna
shouldn't
tell
say
you.
that. I
I'm
shouldn't say
gonna
that.
tell you
Bishop
this, bro.
Matthews might be listening. All
If
right.
that would have ran the ball like Jalen Hurts ran the ball this year, that would be maybe not on Jalen Hurts level, but he would be a lot better than he played this year. That injury just stopped him from running the ball. Everybody was like, quarterbacks ain't supposed to run. I'm like, did you not see him at Mississippi State? He was an option quarterback.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He ran the ball. That's what
And
he
then
did.
these quarterbacks are getting the lead and they act like they ain't respected, you know, if they just throwing the ball, they get that whole thing about them.
You got to be a pocket
I don't know,
passer,
man.
all that
But
stuff.
you mentioned the Eagles two assistants. Look, man, why Coach Eric Bieniemy, man, keep getting passed over for coaching job? What's going
Sad.
on over there, man?
Well, I
Is it
mean,
because
I
they
would
It's
say
sad.
always so late in the season that what's the deal?
so. Part of that is he's not getting the respect as being the OC because they're giving all the credit to the success to Andy Reid and not to him. So
Hmm.
when you come from that situation where you don't like, just let's just take Nathaniel Hackett. You know what I'm saying? Nathaniel Hackett was technically the OC, but he wasn't the one calling the plays. He wasn't the one doing all that stuff. So then when he got in Denver, not only did he not call good plays, but he had no good game management. So there's part of that. One thing I can't discount because I'm not in the room, some people just don't interview well. You know what I'm saying? And I personally do think it's a travesty that he's not a head coach already, but not knowing everything, you get in there, and Andy Reid is even willing to let him go be an OC somewhere with a team where he can have full control of the offense so that he can show that this is him. And now Andy Reid already said it. If he does go somewhere, I just hope it's somewhere where he can go and run the show so people can realize that he is not somebody that's just riding on Andy Reid's coattail, that he's out there doing it.
Let me ask something. When you say run the show as an offensive coordinator, he's not doing that now. No.
So to the Chiefs, yes. But to everybody else, this is Andy Reid doing it.
It's Andy
So
Reid. I
Andy
agree.
Reid is not the one calling the plays. He steps in and calls some plays. And then sometimes he'll take over the game. All right, I got this drive and I'll do it. So it is still a back and forth situation. And he just started calling plays this year. Before that, Andy Reid was calling plays all the time. So it was just they opened it up to let Eric Bieniemy, spread his wings and show that he can actually do it. But again, I always have a problem with it. Like if Eric Bieniemy was gonna come and be my head coach, I want him to come and get an offensive coordinator that's going to be the one calling the plays, man. Because I want my head coach coaching the game. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my head coach, you know what I'm saying, distracted about every little thing and worried about what we gonna do on this. I want my head coach saying, hey, no, we going for it. And then somebody got to have a play to go for it. You know what I'm saying? I want, you know what I mean? Not we going for it and I got to figure out a play and I got to figure out substitutions and all this good stuff. That's just me. And
Right,
so
right.
maybe from a leadership standpoint, there are things, you know what I'm saying? Remember, there was a lot of coaches like that over years they had to get interview after interview after interview before they finally
Yeah,
get a
but
chance.
he seems to be like you
The
said,
worst.
something ain't right somewhere. You know what I'm saying? He getting in there and I ain't gonna say it. Yeah, something ain't right.
Yeah.
Something ain't
But
right.
it don't help that he looked like us.
Yeah.
That's the
That don't help.
facts.
That don't help at all. All right.
That's the
Look, man,
facts.
we had a good Super Bowl, but look, these NBA trades that happened last week,
Bruh.
man, listen. What happened with Kevin Durant and them Suns, man? Let me ask you a question. Does this make the Suns the best now in the West and in the whole NBA? Because
Not the whole.
there was
Not
no
not
scenario I thought that Suns would make that trade and not give up DeAndre
Oh no, I
Ayton.
knew. No, here's the
Now
problem. I knew
maybe New York didn't want him. You know,
the Nets didn't want
the Nets
DeAndre
didn't want him.
Ayton.
Yeah,
So here's the thing. I do feel like if everybody's healthy on every team, they're at least the best in the West. I
mm-hmm.
still think with what Boston brings to the table and what Milwaukee brings to the table, the two of them I think will have a slight advantage if everybody's healthy on every team. The problem that I have with this team is number one, I've never liked Campaign as a backup point guard. I would love Campaign to be my backup two guard where I just give him the ball and let sort of like a Jordan Clarkson where he come off the bench, bro,
Right.
just shoot, just go do your thing. I don't want Campaign running my show because his mindset is not run the show. So if Chris Paul gets hurt, they're done. If
And
Devin
which
Booker
is a
gets
good
hurt,
possibility.
right.
Yeah,
If Devin Booker gets hurt, I think they're done.
which is a good
And of
possibility.
course, if Kevin Durant gets
Another good
hurt, there's
possibility.
no question. So that's the only reason why I can't say definitively that they are, the best. But if they're healthy, I think they have just as good a chance as anybody, including Boston and Milwaukee, to win the title this year.
Howard.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they may be. I give them a little edge in the West. Denver's coming. If Denver can play away from home, but if Denver get home court advantage, I think Denver will come out the West. I'm almost sure of that. I don't think nobody in the West can stop Jokic, man. I'm just, dude,
Denver reminds me of Utah, though,
that big
Howard.
country boy.
Yeah, but they remind me
Yeah,
of
but
Utah.
they got
Utah all them years were in the regular season, because they come out and they play hard every day and their players show up every day and they do all of that. They win, but then in the playoffs where you got time to prepare to stop them, you know what I'm saying? It's they lose, you know what I'm saying? That's how I look at Denver right now. Denver looks to me like that regular season team that's going to dominate, but then when you get in the playoffs, the team with the most talent. And I still think talent for talent, Suns have way more talent to me in their top five than the Denver Nuggets. So that's why I would give them the edge over them.
Yeah. I think the Suns, with this trade, are the best in the West right now. But who's to say? Um, Also, another big trade, man. The Lakers made a huge set of moves. How much better are the Lakers now after the trades? With sending out Westbrook. Didn't they send him to Minnesota?
Utah.
Utah. They sent him to
Utah.
Utah. They sent him to Utah.
Yeah, it
They
was a
sent
3-team
Westbrook
deal.
3 team. They sent Westbrook out and they brought in basically the Angelo, right? Russell.
Yeah, they got
Um
D'Angelo Russell, they got Vanderbilt, and they got Beasley.
Beasley.
And
All right.
Bamba. and they got Mamba.
Well,
Yep.
they
They got
got
what is
Mobamba.
it?
They
Mo
got rid of
Mamba, Mo
they got
Bamba.
Mobamba by getting rid of Patrick Beverly, which is another thing. So here's the thing.
Right,
I think the
right.
Lakers, number one, if they don't make the playoffs at all, if they make the play in and get beat, if they make it to the first round and then lose, I still think this was not good, but great work by Rob Pelinka. And here's why. For the first time since the Anthony Davis trade, where they had everybody, or really to uncover the real travesty, which was the Westbrook trade, they have a full roster of players. And all of those players are under contract except D'Angelo Russell. So now this summer, going into it, they have assets to make moves, to do something, to build a team, and it's not giving up everything for one player. Not to mention, if Kyrie doesn't sign with the Dallas Mavericks, they position themselves to where they could open up the cap space to sign him and still have players that they can play. I mean, that they can keep. You know what I'm saying? And have a roster around those three. So I think, and they got back a whole bunch of second round picks. You know what I'm saying? So then, which means they still have that 2029 first round pick, but now, unlike before, they'll have two again that they could do 28 and 30 if they want to do a big deal for somebody. So I don't know how much better if they would have started the year with this team. I think they would be in contention in the West, even with everything that's going on. If they started, because this team, Rui Hachimura is not a bum. Vanderbilt is that guy that they need, that hustler, that running. They got Beasley, who was shooting 38% from three, somebody on the outside. D'Angelo Russell's having his best year catch and shoot. He's shooting somewhere around close to 40% from three-point range. You still got LeBron James, and let's not forget what Anthony Davis was doing before he got hurt. So what I'm saying is this team, when you say that teams have to have you had to have superstars. Well, they have two bona fide superstars and a bunch of great role players. If they started the year with this team, as a matter of fact, if they didn't start the year off so bad, right now they would be, since they've been playing since that first 2-10 start, they would be in sixth place right now. You know what I'm saying? So and then just getting rid of Westbrook from what is being reported, it was addition by subtraction because he was a
Right. I
cancer in the
agree.
locker room. So, you know what I'm saying? I think wholeheartedly they put themselves in position to be successful, limited success this year, but successful going forward.
Howard, how much better are the Lakers now?
They got they got 100% better, 100% better, and a lot younger, which is good because Dennis Schroeder is even playing. Well, he's been playing
That boy
consistent all year
balling.
long. He balling though, man. Yes, he's balling. He's balling. They've gotten a lot better. I like what I see. I don't know what's wrong with LeBron James' ankle. I think when he broke the record, he just figured he didn't want to play no more until after the All Star break.
No,
So
he was hurt in that game. He was hurt in that game. Mhm.
I, I ain't even see him get hurt. I don't know what he did. He wasn't
No,
hurt
no,
enough
he
to
was
not
hurt
break the
before the
record at that
game.
game.
He just wanted to get the record and then get some time off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but one
But
thing about the
anyway,
Lakers,
they
I think they're great. Go ahead, Howard.
yeah, they got a whole lot better, man. They upgraded. They really did. I can't
I
call
know
them
one
old no
thing.
more.
They need to have some
You
urgency
know.
though.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's getting early quick.
It's
It's getting
getting
oh, it's
early
getting late
Well, they
early.
go
What
they
they
gonna be
say? What's
set.
that?
late. Yep.
They gonna see a little bit more Westbrook though, because y'all know he going to the Clippers.
No, he ain't even decided whether or not he want to take the buyout. He might stick around and sit on the bench in Utah. Here's the thing, man.
No, he gonna take that
Players
buyout.
at Howard, name one player who has been cut, got a buyout, and then got even a decent contract after that. Bro, once you that buyout
Yeah, that's
dude,
true.
you can't ask for money no more, man. So dudes are kind
And
of scared of that
and
Well,
buyout.
Westbrook, he gonna be disappointed because they not gonna offer him a lot.
I agree.
They not gonna offer him
Oh
a
no,
lot at all. So
he might get league minimum from now on.
Yo, that's
If that,
real. That's real, bro.
he might get league minimum. That's it now. Yeah, them that yeah.
Hey, look,
Yeah. But that's
Does James Harden get a pass now for wanting out of New Jersey? He said that y'all thought he was crazy, but look at him now. He ain't crazy. That's what he said. Do he get a pass now?
what
No,
makes
I
him not
told you.
crazy. What is
Because
he?
No, I told you. I
What is he
blame the
doing?
organization.
He's saying New Jersey and Kevin Durant. I mean Kyrie and Kevin Durant both asked out of New Jersey. So now everybody was saying, why is he asking out? So now he's saying, can y'all see why he did it? So I'm saying, do he get a pass for that?
And then,
No,
so
because
here's the
he
thing.
did it because Kyrie called him soft and he fat and he can't handle him no more.
And man, he did it because that organization
Tony, you know
had
why
no
he did it, Tony.
backbone.
Stop, Tony.
That organization had no
Kyrie got
backbone,
into
bro.
his grill.
He did. He did.
Kyrie got in his grill.
But
And
Kyrie should have
Kyrie
still
told him
been
about
home.
himself.
Kyrie shouldn't have been able to get in his grill because he should have been home. Because the rules are you
Oh
can't
God.
play without the vaccination. And so that to me, if you're an organization, you take a stand. How you gonna let somebody come and play half the games, only away games? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, it was a bad trade that they got rid of him because they never should have took back Ben Simmons. They never should have took back Ben Simmons,
Man, and
man.
Ben Simmons, is he coming off the bench now?
He's coming off the bench, and he's their
Yes.
highest paid player by a lot. He the highest paid player by
Yes.
over
How
$10
many
million,
more years on
bro.
that contract? Two?
Two after this one.
God
They still owe
damn.
him $80 million after this year, bro.
Man, boy, that was the greatest robbery ever.
They might have to give up 2 or 3 draft picks to get off of him.
Man. Gracious, man. Ben Simmons, man. He
we'll
just
we'll we'll take him just for the defense. Come on the ball. We'll take you for just for the
everybody
defense. We
keeps
don't need you to
saying that,
shoot.
but you got to be some kind of
We'll take you
threat
for the
that
defense.
No, they're not gonna
We,
take him for
we,
the defense.
we'll take you coming off the bench for
No,
about 5
Howard,
minutes and then gonna sit back down and
Howard.
guard.
Ain't nobody paying nobody 5 minutes, $40 million.
no, ain't nobody doing that. Ain't nobody doing
No,
that.
no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, you know
No, we're
that
not
man
doing
that
that.
made all that money, and you talking about he on the bench.
He
That
would be
just
the
don't make
second
no
highest
Well,
sense.
player on y'all team, highest paid player on y'all team, Howard. Do you know how mad
let's
everybody else would be? They own it in the luxury tax paying Golden State money, and this dude can't play but 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
he
crazy. It's
won't get no
crazy.
more of that money either. His years are done.
No,
And he
yeah, that's
young.
it. Yeah, he done.
He
He
ain't getting no
won't
Oh,
get
more of
y'all,
that
another.
money.
Yeah,
he gonna ride this 2.5 out and go into the sunset with this
Yeah,
contract. Be like, got him. He gonna be the best dressed cheerleader. um you know what I'm saying, coming in with all his chains on and all of that. And the thing is, it's just all in his head, man. Dude,
yeah,
if you just go out there
that's
with that
all.
mentality, look at what Markel Fultz did. Markel Fultz went through a full breakdown. He couldn't even shoot, he couldn't even make it, and he done went and remade himself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And he takes shots. He still ain't the most accurate jump shooter, but what he could do off the dribble and everything else, he just has to make the team respect that he will take the shot. They don't even guard him, man, because they don't believe he will take the shot, man. And he's so afraid to take free throws. Dude, Shaq knew he was shooting 50% from the free throw line, and he still didn't stop getting the ball and going in because he just don't care. He be like, look, man, they pay me
Mm-mm.
for more. As a matter of fact, they ain't got but so many people that can file me. Eventually, they gonna file out. Keep giving me the ball.
yep, yep.
Shaq said,
I,
they don't pay me for make free throws. Shaq said they pay
no,
me.
sure didn't. All right, fellas, that was a good Super Bowl that we had, man. I think that was one of the best Super Bowls in the books that came in. It wasn't a whole lot, man. Both quarterbacks came, both teams came to play. It was a great Super Bowl. We had all of the NBA trades. Man, that whole Kevin Durant, Kyrie, it was a lot of other trades made too. Um,
You know, what about that Kyrie to Dallas? What you think?
That Jay Crowder, ain't the name Crowder? Didn't he go to Milwaukee? The Bucks. That's gonna be a big
Yeah,
one for them too.
yeah.
That dude ain't played all year though, man. I always get nervous when people ain't played all year. He just been sitting home. You know, I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah, it's gonna take them a minute, but they wanted them though. But
Yeah.
we'll see what happens next week. We'll switch over to NBA. It's here, so we'll start looking at more and more of the NBA. But that was another episode of Man of Sports Talk Unfiltered. We'll see you guys next Tuesday night. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.